Xbox has blessed us with another set of games that have been announced over the past week, and a couple of these are also coming to Xbox Game Pass very soon. The gaming news and releases are really ramping up for 2025, and we have so many exciting games on the horizon. Do remember to watch out for the Xbox Game Pass icon on screen now so you know which ones are coming to the service. But with that out of the way, my name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive right into these awesome new game announcements coming your way. First up, we have a game that has really intrigued me since the trailer dropped about a week ago now, and that is for Kiborg. This game is a relentless roguelike beat-em-up where you enhance your body with new cybernetic implants with every single run. As you can see on screen now, it really is a hybrid of old school beat-em-ups, shooters and roguelikes. The fights are fast, brutal and deadly as you'll be able to sever limbs, squash heads and tear cybernetic cores apart from living foes. There are dozens of enemy types here with unique abilities and tactics, and they're mixed and matched to create hundreds of challenging encounters. The story here is pretty straightforward though. In essence, you've been sent to the worst prison in the galaxy for crimes you didn't commit. Death won't provide you with an escape, but a violent reality show may offer you a way out. It really looks like one of those 360 era AA titles that really comes out of the blue, but garners a very niche but loyal following, and to be honest, I can't wait to dive into it when it launches this April. A Polish developer called STARSEEKER has recently announced the psychological survival horror game Holstin will be coming to Xbox and looks to transport us to an eerie 90s era lakeside town in Poland, which has been overrun with unsettling horrors. To fight back here, you have an arsenal of different weapons, from pistols, semi-automatic rifles, sniper rifles, and so much more. You can see on screen now the brand new trailer that was dropped, in which it shows us the game's decaying town and its unique visual style, created using STARSEEKER's proprietary 2XD rendering tech. This looks to bring some pretty cool and detailed pixel art environments with real-time lighting, which can be viewed from multiple perspectives, that being isometric 3D, an over-the-top shoulder third-person view for shooting, first-person for driving, top-down when exploring, and so many more. Of course, as you have probably realized, it is inspired by classics like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and to be honest, it looks incredibly interesting. We've got a new game to add to the big Xbox Game Pass list for 2025 in the form of Spray Paint Simulator, and it is officially heading to the service some point this May. It'll be available for both the Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles. In Spray Paint Simulator, it'll be your job to give a fresh coat of paint to worn out surfaces, spanning everything from kitchens to a giant robot. You'll also have to build your own spray painting business along the way. This game seems to have a lot in common with Power Wash Simulator, and the good news is it also features online co-op support like the other game does, so you'll be able to enjoy spray painting with a friend on Xbox Game Pass. Power Wash Simulator was a massive hidden gem on Xbox Game Pass, but really blew up onto the scene with its addictive gameplay and incredibly pleasing dirt washing. We're still waiting for a definite date for this new game, so I'll let you know more details very soon. So make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss out on that future video. Spirit of the North was an unexpected success when it debuted almost 6 years ago, and 2 years ago something most people probably expected actually happened. A sequel was announced. Now it seems that the developer, Infuse Studio, is basically finished with this development, because a new trailer, which I'll put on screen now, finally reveals that Spirit of the North 2 will be released on Xbox on the 8th of May. In this one, we will be taken to an ancient world left in ruin and embark on a journey of an isolated fox far from home. With the help of a wise raven companion this time around, we will have to seek out the lost legendary guardians and release them from the grasp of a dark shaman. Of course, as per the previous game, we will still get to roam freely through a vast and ancient open world, rich with long forgotten history. It looks stunning from what we've seen so far, and I cannot wait to explore another beautiful and surreal indie experience when it comes out this May. Last week's Nintendo Switch 2 Direct was absolutely bursting at the seams with brand new announcement for the company's upcoming console, but there's quite a few which are also coming to Xbox as well. Yet thanks to some frustrating technical difficulties during that livestream, you might have missed a banger coming from publisher Devolver Digital. STARSEEKER Astroneer Expeditions is a follow-up to Astroneer, which is currently available with Xbox Game Pass, but this new one looks like the game will allow for many players working together. The official blurb actually describes this one as planet-wide objectives across various systems, suggesting overarching goals for an entire crew to work towards. It also states that we'll have an advanced set of new tools at our disposal to tackle expeditions while we face off against the unknown perils of space. The developer has stressed that STARSEEKER is not actually a sequel to Astroneer, and the first game will still be receiving support for many more years. There are no Xbox Game Pass plans for this new game, yet I will update you if we hear more. A very big bit of news though that dropped last week and not as part of the Xbox Game Pass announcements is that Grand Theft Auto 5 will be available on Xbox Game Pass on the 15th of April. This will actually be the third time available on Game Pass for console users, but it will actually be the first time that is available on PC Game Pass. This also includes the GTA 5 enhanced version for both console and PC, so if you're interested in exploring Los Santos or just driving in the expansive multiplayer yet again, then get ready for it later this April. I don't really think there's a point in me covering what GTA 5 entails these days, as you really have the gist at this point, but no doubt this is being included to build up hype for GTA 6 later this year. We do know though that this will be available for the following Xbox Game Pass tiers, that being Ultimate, Standard and PC. What do you think about GTA coming back to Xbox Game Pass? Personally, I would have preferred Red Dead Redemption 2, but I hope you all enjoyed this Game Pass entry later this month. Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon is finally coming to console after its stint in early access over on PC, and I tell you what, if you want a game which is being compared to Skyrim, then this needs to be on your radar. This is a mature first-person perspective open-world RPG, taking you into a dark fantasy world inspired by Arthurian legends. You will get to experience a complex branching main storyline where you will decide on what legacy King Arthur's reign will leave on the world after 600 years of continuous struggle. A lot of different users on Steam have really compared it to Skyrim of course, but then a mix of Oblivion and Dark Souls, and honestly, that combo just sounds incredible. The environments here, the tone, and the amount of content on offer looks to be staggering, especially for a AA title, and it comes to Xbox finally this year. I am reviewing this game prior to launch on Xbox, so if you are interested, make sure to ask me questions below and subscribe so you don't miss out on that future video. This next bit of info might be incredibly interesting for many of you JRPG enjoyers. The Persona 4 remake is reportedly real and coming to Xbox Game Pass on day one, according to one Microsoft leaker. The same source suggests that Atlus's modernized version of Persona 4 may be closer than initially expected. Rumours of a Persona 4 remake being in the works have been circulating online since early 2024, around the same time that Persona 3 Reload was actually released to widespread success. Persona 3 Reload was becoming Atlus's fastest selling game yet, a title it has since ceded to Metaphor ReFantasio. While several leakers out there have claimed that the project existed, no one at the time actually suggested it would materialize anytime soon. Spanish YouTuber though, Ecstasis, reported that the Persona 4 remake is just around the corner and that it will be available day one as an Xbox Game Pass release. This leaker has been fairly accurate most of the time about any Xbox Game Pass release, so no doubt we might hear more soon about this potential remake. The most colourful and friendly Souls-like on the market is finally gearing up to receive a major content expansion. Another Crab's Treasure, Year of the Crab is the name of the new complete free update that will arrive on the 21st of April for both the Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles. This update will include new outfits, overall improvements, and a brand new boss rush mode. In this mode, you can face all of the bosses one after another. Additionally, a new Game Plus mode will also offer additional challenges after completing the main campaign, alongside a brand new boss which will test your skills with the shell. But as a bit of awesome news, the developers have also confirmed that Year of the Crab will be available to Xbox Game Pass users for free. Since its launch though, players and critics have praised Another Crab's Treasure for its vibrant aesthetics, constant humour and its accessibility to the Souls-like genre, and I couldn't agree more. I can't wait to dive back into the deep as my favourite Shelly companion. I did cover quite a lot of games coming to Xbox from the Nintendo Direct last week, but I totally forgot one incredible looking game coming very soon. This is a brand new game called Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion, and this over-the-top stylish mecha anime action is a sequel to Daemon X Machina, which was considered a cult hit on the Nintendo Switch back in 2019. This time, the new game is not a Switch exclusive and is coming to Xbox for the very first time. In this game though, you play as a mercenary hired to help humanity win a losing war against a tyrannical empire known as the Sovereign Axiom. On top of that, you are also contracted to safeguard humanity from hostile alien monsters called the Immortals, looking to tear both sides apart to feed their hunger. These games look incredibly awesome, and I cannot wait to dive into this new entry into this franchise. Another awesome game which was stuck on Nintendo Switch and is finally coming to Xbox consoles is NanoApostle. This is a dark science fiction boss rush action game featuring intense reaction-based combat and a unique destruction point system. We will be taking control as Anita, a child augmented with lethal nanomachines as she battles against twisted cybernetic experiments to escape a top secret facility. The combat in this one is so fluid and responsive that you'll be dodging and parrying in your sleep, and the boss themes and pixel art are simply top notch. This is the kind of game where bosses will absolutely farm you until you understand their attack patterns, and by the end they'll feel nothing more than just mere paperwork. It looks like an awesome indie experience, and I cannot wait for it to arrive on Xbox on the 24th of April. As you may have seen over the past couple of days, Bungie have announced a live stream this coming Saturday on the 12th of April to show us gameplay of their upcoming extraction shooter known as Marathon. I know many of you are aware that Bungie is now a PlayStation-owned studio, but this new game will still be coming to both the Xbox Series X and S consoles at launch. The show will give us a deeper look at gameplay and what we can expect alongside a possible release date. If you aren't aware though, the original Marathon third-person shooter was released back in 1994 and received 2 sequels. Now, Bungie is reviving the series as a sci-fi PvP extraction shooter featuring evolving persistent zones that's set in the same universe as the original games. I will be tuning into this event, and no doubt I will cover the news in a video shortly after, so stay tuned for that. If you are feeling a bit more in the mood for some Elder Scrolls information, then we are seeing an Elder Scrolls Online Direct being held on the 10th of April. It's been quite some time since ESO got its latest expansion known as Gold Road, so we are likely to see some meaty news in this showcase. That includes a potential first look at the game's new expansion, as well as its 2025 roadmap, which is still currently unclear. Since launch though, the Elder Scrolls Online has steadily grown, harnessing a passionate player base that continues to invest in the game more than a decade after it first launched. It is rumoured we could also see an announcement and shadow drop of the Oblivion remake at this show, so make sure to tune in or subscribe here as I'll notify you once this drops. So what do you think of these new announcements for Xbox over this past week? Let me know down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe for more Xbox videos like this every single day. Whilst here though, why don't you check out the video on screen now, as I covered the 15 games coming to Xbox and Game Pass for this current week. There are quite a few new games coming out alongside a big Xbox first party IP, so I delved into them to see if they're worth your time and money.